What is up, scumbags? I'm Brock. This is James.
Yo.
And this is the Rebel Scum Podcast. Everything you need to know about Star Wars, from stars to wars and everything in between. James, how are you today?
I'm great. Oh, but before we get started, we have to say something. People listen to us on the Apple iTunes.
Ooh la la.
If you're listening to us on the Apple
The Pie Tunes.
the Pie Tunes.
We listen to music about pies.
I'm hungry. What's your favorite kind of pie? Maybe we'll get into
American
that
Pie.
Ooh, bye-bye. Guys, give us well, now you won't, but give us a star rating and a review if you could. That would help us out a lot because we're on there. We are working on getting on the Stitchers, on the Google Plays, maybe the Spotify's.
And AM radio.
And only on AM radio. So if you go under a tunnel, you will lose us. The people that are under 30 years old have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But everybody else is going, that's an old joke. So. Also, guys, if you like Star Wars and you're watching us on YouTube or you found us on the iTunes or wherever else you might be watching us, like and subscribe because all we do is Star Wars all the time. Brock and I just did our Parsecs show, which is on Han Solo. That is on the YouTube right now. You can find that.
Wow.
So all your Star Wars info you could get right here on the Rebel Scum Podcast.
Coolio.
Yeah. Okay. I have some big news.
You have some big news?
I have some big...
You're pregnant! Yay!
It's a little bit bigger than that. So, you know how I'm terrible at Battlefront 2 and Battlefront 1? Look, guys, for those of you watching, there's a graphic going to go up, and it is very graphic. So if you have young children, look away. I came in first place in Blast. Okay, look, 7,000. We won't get into the points because I've played it. People have gotten like 20,000. But look, I got 7,000 points. I came in first place. This is only the second time I've ever placed in the top 5 since November when I got this game.
Yeah.
And I came in fourth 2 games before this. and I got so happy I ran to where Aaron was.
Yeah.
And I said, I got fourth. And then by the time I got back, the second game had already started. So I was like way late into it. Then I played again, and I came in first place. So, guys, I hate to break it to you, but if you've wanted to play me at Battlefront, I am announcing my retirement from Battlefront 2, Star Wars.
I can't believe it says James's announcement underneath that. You took time to do that.
Look. I don't succeed at Battlefront very often, and I imagine. Look, this was like 6 or 7 o'clock at night. I am guessing it was like first time gamers playing. It was a noobs. I don't care.
It's 6 o'clock. All the kids were eating supper because it's their supper time, and they weren't on.
Why are you trying to take this from me?
Because I didn't agree to.
I thought it was.
Why do you think you've been successful in this venture?
It was only 7,000 points. It wasn't. No, you know what? So I had internet, which was very bad. If you've watched the first Parsecs, or nobody's seen the Flying Casual about the Pikes, if you've seen any of those, you can see how bad my internet is. People blame it on Andrew because they think it's Andrew, so I would just kind of let them go with it. But it's because I was recording it at my place. You guys were separate, and my internet used to be very bad. I switched providers. I have a way faster internet. So now there's no lagging, and I'm just going to say there's no lagging when I play.
So now the game works, is what you're saying.
Actually, for all of January, and Aaron will back me up on this, we could not play like an actual game without like you would run, and I'd be going this way, and then I'd be facing a wall here, and I was like, oh. One time I was playing on Camino, and I was in like the clone rooms, and I was running to a door, and it jumped and put me in another hallway in the middle of all like the clones, and I was like, what is the point of this? But anyway, we should move on. Tell everybody quickly about our Patreon if you guys want to, because this is my job, by the way. I don't have a job. This is all I do. But if you want to support us on Patreon, we can get more of these beautiful microphones, a better camera to help out. We got this new set.
Yay, wow.
For $1, you get early access in our special show, Cloning Around, which is very, very close to happening. $2 early access, Cloning Around, and the Star Wars documentary show, which is also close to happening. $3 early access, Cloning Around, the documentary show, and you can have your emails and theories and top 5s and whatever else you want to send come on the show. One of our Patreons actually submitted this week's top 5, which is great. I should probably figure out what that is. And for $10, you can be Rebel Scum yourself. You get everything I just said, plus you can appear on Duel of the Fates and Vote of No Confidence. January 29th, Duel of the Fates, Den Allen taking on Andrew Fantasia. I
Wow.
am very much.
Win? Who cares?
Oh, it's gonna be Den because Andrew's
Yeah.
terrible. Andrew buckles under pressure.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't end. We won't announce it yet. But yesterday, happy birthday, Rob. Rob McDonald's birthday was
Happy
yesterday.
birthday, Rob.
And if you have not checked out the Facebook video, there might be a challenge in there. So we'll get into that. We'll go into that next week more than anything. But look, we need to talk about things that are happening in the Star Wars world today. And that's Snoke.
Snoke!
Snoke is Plagueis.
Just when you thought he was dead, he's
He
back.
comes back from the dead. Do you think he's dead? Do you think we're going to get more Snoke?
I feel like he's going to be mentioned. I would like a flashback with him because I want to know why he's relevant. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is and it's funny because I see a lot of people saying, well, and we've talked about this a bit before, but where like Palpatine wasn't important in the original trilogy. And they're like, well, we don't need to know anything about Snoke because we know everything we need to know about Snoke, which is partially correct, I would say. And I'm not going to get into what I've gotten into before where I feel like Leia and Luke mentioning Snoke is the reason why we need to know more about Snoke. And the fact that the only two dark side users we know exist in the original trilogy are dead. They've been killed.
They did.
So nobody can use the dark side. So the fact that he's super powerful in the Force, and somehow he was able to get past Leia and Snoke and get to Ben Solo.
Right.
There's a story there that needs to be that really needs to be answered. And so Rob absolutely hates the death scene of Snoke. By the way, spoiler alert.
Spoilers.
Snoke dies. But so he absolutely hates Rob McDonald. Happy birthday again. Hates Snoke's death scene with a passion. I spoke to him yesterday. We went out for a drink on his birthday.
Yeah.
And he's like, James, I can't stand that scene. And he went on a rant. I'm like, dude, it's your birthday. Chill out. And he said, I will not chill out. It is my birthday. I get to rant. So I said, fair enough. So he ranted. Now, I love that scene.
Okay.
However, do you feel that scene would have been more powerful had we gotten a glimpse into who Snoke was?
I don't know. Because, like, I don't know. Because I think we knew that Kylo wasn't happy serving under Snoke. I think he went along with as long as he did because they served the same purpose. But right out the gate, when Kylo and Snoke speak for the first time, he's just like, you're a dummy. He's like, look at this mask. Why are you wearing this? So that you start that movie that way, I'm not saying you couldn't put it in, but I feel like it's irrelevant because you already know that he's not happy serving under this guy. So why show a flashback of why he gave in to him to begin with? I want to know. I'm not saying I don't want to know, but I feel like the story is Kylo's not happy with serving under Snoke. And he's pushed far enough to do what Vader was almost unable to do to the very end. But that's different because he had redeemed himself or was making an action to redeem himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I compare the two, which I don't really want to, but
No, here's the thing. I think they're so comparable because I think Lucasfilm believes that they are the same. But they're very different. Snoke and Palpatine they're comparable, obviously, but they're not comparable because of the power Snoke has without any. Because look, the Emperor. So in A New Hope, the Emperor is mentioned by Tarkin, like in passing, like the Emperor dissolved of the Senate. Like that's it. You don't know anything else about the Emperor. Then in Empire Strikes Back, Vader speaks with the Emperor and he's like, the son of Skywalker. Oh, the son of Skywalker. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, the Emperor wants this guy. And then Obi-Wan says, it's you and your powers the Emperor wants. Yeah. But still, the Emperor, at that point, you don't know if he's a Force user or not. He is still just the Emperor. Yeah. His right-hand man, his muscle, is a Force user. Obviously, that's why he wants Luke. Then, obviously, in Return of the Jedi, you find, he can use the Force, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Then you get the prequels. Snoke, on the other hand, you don't know anything about him. He's a hologram.
Yeah.
But the minute we meet him in the next movie, he's flipping Hux around through a hologram. Yeah. Like he's using the Force through a hologram, which I didn't know you could do that. So he could do that. Then, like when Rey comes, he's like, whoa, and all this crazy stuff. So like, my thing is that's your difference right there. Is you've created this thing off the hop. Yeah. That is super powerful in the Force. How did he get that way? And you brought up before that, whereas there's light side, there's dark side, and that's what they're going with. The one has to rise. which is fine. But still, the question is, where did he come from? Which I think could be a very, very intriguing story. Sure. And I was watching the Den of Nerds video on Snoke yesterday he dropped it, and I was like, you son of a gun, we're doing a video tonight on him. And his video, he's like, maybe this is the reason why we haven't got any books or comics on Snoke, because they knew Rian Johnson was going to kill him off, and instead of building him up so much for the letdown, and then everybody let down, just don't even pretend he doesn't exist. I mean, Rian Johnson came up before the movie and said Snoke has a small role.
Yeah.
But then you have a Phasma
and
book.
He also said all your Snoke theories are garbage or crap.
Well, I think he just held up a sign.
They are wrong. But the problem with these movies, I feel like I've said this before, we're just going to constantly compare them. Because in a sense, Snoke and the Emperor are similar in character, obviously. But like the first time you see Snoke, he's a hologram. The first time you see Emperor, he's a hologram. And then this throne room scene, there's so many similarities. But like I feel like they are still different. They just don't... I don't know what it is. But I feel like I can't compare them because we know so much about Palpatine. Like, I wish we could watch Last Jedi and Force Awakens, in 1980 or 1985 or whatever, when Return of the Jedi comes out. Because I don't... With all the stuff we see in Expanded Universe and the prequels, we, like, already have this... We form a new version of the Emperor. Like, what was it like after watching Return of the Jedi and pretty much meeting the Emperor for the first time? You know what I mean? He's like, that's a guy. He's a tripping block. We got to get rid of him. Because in a sense, that's what Snoke feels like in this.
But I feel the biggest difference, I think, though, is Vader was the villain.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And Kylo is the villain in this as well.
Yeah, but because Snoke has a bigger presence. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
Like, he's not just a throwaway line. He's actually in 2 scenes of the movie. In Force Awakens. Now, here's the other point that I want to bring up is at the end of The Force Awakens, Snoke says to Hux, bring Kylo Ren to me to finish his training.
Yeah.
And if you remember from this little movie called The Revenge of the Sith, there's a story about Darth Plagueis the Wise. The Jedi wouldn't tell you that one. But there's a story about Darth Plagueis the Wise and how his apprentice killed him. If Snoke's that high on the dark side, Kylo Ren's training could end with Snoke's demise, and Snoke would know that.
Right.
Because look, this is what I'm worried about. Is I don't need Snoke to be this, that, or anything other than Snoke. And I've said that for a long time.
Yeah.
But I don't want him to just be nothing.
True.
Like, Rey's parents are already nothing. And if that stays, that's also fine. But then Snoke can't be nothing. Like, there has to be... Give me something more. And here's the thing. I'm okay with not learning that until 9. I'm okay because this is... Because after A New Hope, these movies changed where now it's a 3-part act. However, I do consider them like chapters in a book more. So don't BS me on anything. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't lie to me for the sake of lying to me, which I think some things happen in them.
Yeah.
But I think the Snoke thing is something that potentially in 9, one sentence is all that's needed. When Snoke took me in, nobody else would listen to me.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And we learned the Force together.
And then we just get a book series about it at some point.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. But that to me makes everything that has happened beforehand so like just more impactful.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that. That makes sense, yeah. But does that... Yeah. Do you think people will want to see that? Like, I feel like a lot of people wanted something out of it.
Do you know... Yeah, okay. I think this too. Modern storytelling is not very good anymore. Here's what I mean. Everybody is so focused on getting to the destination. They're not worried about the story to it. And that is what makes it. It's a journey is what you watch the movies for.
Yeah.
It's not the end game. Like, I say this about Rey. Everybody has their own opinion on Rey, and I'm not going to harp on it. Like, Rey, whatever. You like her. But, look, Rey is all of a sudden, I'm a scavenger. Cool. I could do a mind trick. Okay? Like, for me, and I've said this before, it's the middle part. Like, we just want to get to her using a lightsaber. That we don't care about the reason why she should use a lightsaber. or the journey to getting to that moment is just like, she has to use it. We got to get it to her. And like the way she gets Anakin's lightsaber. I'm from Maz's castle, where the voices call to her.
Yeah.
I actually don't have a problem with that. But even that is like, okay, you just really need her to get that. Like, you need that lightsaber.
Yeah, like it's.
And that's my feeling with Snoke. Is it's like they needed Snoke. They needed Kylo to be the villain.
Yeah.
They had Snoke, and I think Snoke was all. I think J.J. Abrams' plan was Snoke dying in 8. I still think that. I think that was the plan from the start, was to kill Snoke. But they're so determined on getting Kylo to become supreme leader that they've missed the importance of his journey to becoming that. Now, him killing the Master is great, but it's like that part where him and Snoke's relationship, and like you said, yeah, you see some of it, but there's something else there. Like, because if Snoke's just bashing him from the start, why would Kylo be with him to begin with? Aside from that his uncle tried to kill him. But like, there had to be something more there. And isn't that interesting enough to at least have a line in episode 9?
Oh yeah, no, I think so. It's like they didn't know what Snoke was gonna be, because he has so much more character to it. Well, obviously because he talks longer, but like he feels completely different right off the bat in Last Jedi. I mean, what you could work in was like his hologram in Force Awakens was massive for no reason besides like, look at this, or a misdirect for the audience, right? But if we were like, why would the character want to do that? We do get the sense that he enjoys decadence and opulence and what have you. I mean, he is 10 feet tall, but they make him look like he's like Godzilla or something. So I don't know. Yeah. I think the problem is, if he didn't die, I think a lot of people wouldn't care. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, if he didn't die, but now, because he's dead, it feels like that's the end. But, like, you could easily bring someone back. I don't know.
No, that's what I mean. Like, for me, I love the Snoke stuff in Last Jedi. Yeah. I love his outcome. But if everything's going to come full circle, there's a piece of his puzzle missing, and I'm not talking about book missing. And I know the novelization will cover this and that, but we've seen from novelizations that they don't carry any weight. So I mean, it's currently, it's going to be great. But you know what I mean? Like, well, the thing is, your parents aren't going to read the book.
Oh no, that's not what I meant. I misunderstood what you meant. Like they're not. I thought you meant like whatever they write about Snoke's not going to be interesting. Like, it's gonna be like, you're okay finally, and then you get no answers.
I know. I think there will be something in the book, and I think when we read the book, we'll be like, oh damn, they answered it.
But I meant like, because when we read books now, they're like, let's talk about Luke, and like, we're not gonna talk about we're not gonna give you any information.
I hope The Last Jedi goes into Snoke, but I don't want it to ruin 9. Like, I just think from a storytelling perspective, that one piece of Snoke material is, for me, it's just one thing. Just tell me how he was able to screw over Luke Skywalker, because Luke's like something happened where Luke saw Ben Solo's future, thought for a brief second he should kill Ben Solo. Ben Solo then defends himself, tears everything down, takes a bunch of Luke's students. They might be the Knights of Ren, but who knows when anything. We'll go into Knights of Ren a little bit, obviously, but like, what is that? Like, that has to be answered in 9, no? And if there's a time jump, but if there's a time jump now, like, what gets answered?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, how much of a time jump?
If you guys know J.J. Abrams, have him call us.
I mean, just from listening to what you're like putting out there, but like, what if we've seen Snoke implant this connection between Rey and Kylo through it? Like, it's like, oh, you guys aren't connected, I did that. What if he did the same thing to Luke and Ben, where, you know, I'm not saying Ben could not have been like feeling the dark side. I think every Jedi is challenged by the dark side on a daily basis, but then he creates, so like, maybe we see that scene. Oh, how amazing would it be if the movie started on that scene where the thing comes down and then you just see Ben come out of it, and in the shadows, boom, what's his name, Snoke.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
No, I mean, see, I like, that's That's it.
Yeah.
Like it's very simple to do. My fear is they will be like, he's not important, he's the emperor, he's done. That's my fear, and then Snoke is over.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason I say it's my fear is like it's not gonna make or break anything for me, but it's just one of those things where storytelling, like I just said, they go from A to C, and they're or they go to A and B minus, like B.5, but they're not worried about the details anymore in movies, in stories.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm too tired to like think of examples like that. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think of a movie that had really good detail that I wanted to learn more.
Yeah, but it wasn't a blockbuster.
Wow.
No, but
no. You're talking about modern storytelling. That's not film blockbusters. That's just if you're gonna attack that, that's like everything, right?
Transformers is awesome.
It is awesome.
I actually have never seen the last one.
They had a sword.
Oh no! I just like everything, and this is guilty of the audience too. Though it's almost like the audiences don't care. It's like just get me to see. I don't care. I just want to see the big fight at the end. You know, and it's like, but it's not about that. That's just like, that is just, you know, your dessert. Get your steak, or if you're a vegetarian, whatever you eat, like a tofu, tofurkey. But like, don't worry about like the ending is going to come. How you get there should be so much fun and thought provoking that when you get to that grand finale, you are just jumping up out of your seat going, this is the best thing ever. And I think that's what makes the original trilogy so much fun for people, is that's what it really understood more than anything else. And I think it's a product of its time. And that, I actually really do. And you know I love the prequels, but they don't have that either. I'm not going to say they do. Like that, I mean, Lucas draws things out a little bit more, but it was still like, he needs to get his arm cut off, cut. Like, it still was like that. But like the original trilogy, like, if you look, like Empire Strikes Back is B. And Return of the Jedi is C. The Last Jedi is not really B.
Yeah.
It's kind of like A.5, and then like then we gotta get to Crate.
Yeah, yeah.
And the slowest chase ever.
Yeah, because
my hand is a ship.
And then we get away. I don't know, man.
I just want B to be explained, but it's a trilogy, and it can be explained in 9.
Very true.
One small detail. Also, Rey needs to learn how to use the Force.
The Forks.
So the Knights of Ren. We're going to talk about them because they're mentioned briefly in Force Awakens, and then Rian Johnson said that he could have made the Praetorian Guards Knights of Ren, but they all had to die, so that would have been a waste.
Yeah.
If you watch this movie, it takes place in either 3 days or 18 hours, depending on your point of view of anything. What do you think their role is going to be in 9? J.J. Abrams obviously loves them. Do you think they're going to have a role? Do you think maybe this came to my mind because I was watching The Dark Knight the other day. I don't know why. It was my brother-in-law watched it, so I was watching. Remember the scene when they go to the mobster's place? I can't remember his name. Sandjaw.
In what, Dark Knight?
Dark Knight.
It's not Falcone because that's in the first one.
No, it's not Falcone. It's the other, and then he's like $50,000 or whatever to whoever kills him. Then they bring him.
Yeah.
And the Joker ends up being alive. And he's like, that's how I got these guys. And he kills the guy. And then he goes, we have a position open, but there's only one, and there's like 3 guys, and he breaks the pool cue in half, and he throws it, and then they fight it. What if that was the Knights of Ren and Kylo killed them all? What do you think of that? Sure. What was that guy's name? You talk. I have to find out what his name was.
I want to know what the Knights of Ren are, because like, why go to that trouble to design like how they look, how they're kind of similar to Kylo. I mean, almost it would almost be better if they weren't there and they don't be the Knights of Ren. Like, obviously mention it, but in the if he was just standing in the rain amongst those dead bodies and like Luke's like looking on, that would have been fine. But it's like that captured your imagination. People want to know. But maybe JJ will come back to it. Again, it's like the second movie having
gamble.
Okay. the second movie happening so quickly after, like, kind of gives a reason why you don't talk about them because they're still in that action. So I think that's why another reason why you're like it's A, B, and C. This isn't like A, B. It's like A1 and A2 because there's those gaps are kind of important, I guess. I don't know.
I'm looking for.
I want them. I want them bad.
I think they're gonna. They will be. I think they're gonna come back. I think. Somebody brought up an interesting point. What if Rey trains like Poe or Finn with the Force? I'm not really sure how I feel about that because I don't want everybody to be Force sensitive, even though apparently everybody is Force sensitive. I don't want them all to be, but I want more Force sensitive. I want more Jedi.
Yeah.
I want Rey to be I want to like I've said this a few episodes ago. I'm like I want and if I get this, that's fine. I don't need to get it, but I want that giant war between light and the dark, and Rey's gonna need more than one lightsaber. Yeah, I mean she's only gonna have one. Well, she might have two, which would be pretty bad.
Yeah.
But she's gonna need a bunch of Jedi with her, and then who's she gonna face? The Knights of Ren.
Yeah.
If they are, in fact, Luke's former students, which I think The Last Jedi kind of hints at. But that's another question. We did that video on the disconnect. That's also getting to me is this disconnect. Like, and Ryan Johnson's like, I could have made them Praetorian Guards. What? Like, is there no, like, you don't know who the Knights of Ren are? Like, they were just like a name and you're like, I could do whatever I want with them. I don't understand how they're allowing that to happen. I just want to watch lightsabers fight each other. Or not, because I was fine with the throne room.
You know what would have just been better?
Solo, a Star Wars
If
story.
someone would just written all three and then let the directors go from there. I know, like, directors have feedback on how they do things, but, like, if you created a story... for all we know, this could actually be the case. It's going to have this happen, and then this, and then this. Even though Ryan Johnson's like, they let me do whatever I want, but, like... What you doing over there?
I think there was a guideline. There had to have been a guideline. It's just small details, though, that I think...
Because maybe it's just a bit... It's like... The story is this. And then all that other stuff can go around.
Yeah. No, I honestly think Snoke was always planned to die.
Yep.
And 9 was always planned... Whatever 9 is, the basis of 9 was always meant to be the basis of 9. That's what... I am going to go with until I hear otherwise. Because, I mean, how do you just, like... Here's the other thing is would it have been beneficial to have the typical Star Wars 3-year gap? And maybe let Ryan Johnson see the finished cut of The Force Awakens before he wrote the screenplay for the sequel. Like, Brock, if you were like, I'm writing a movie, James, I want you to write a sequel. I'd be like, okay, cool. You're like, here's a screenplay and a rough cut. And I'm like, okay, and I write my sequel. And then you're like, oh, we made all these changes. And I'm like, but I wrote this based on that. Can you do that? You're like, I'll do that, but I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to do that. But I'll do that and that for you. I'm like, okay. Well, I really like, I'm going to keep this, though.
Yeah.
And does that work better than, hey, James, I made a movie. Go watch it. And if you want to write a sequel, write a sequel.
Right.
And I feel like there wouldn't have been much of a delay anyway.
No, weren't they kind of doing that? Like, Ryan did talk to JJ at some point, and then I believe Colin talked to Ryan at some point as well. Like, I don't know. I really, you know what? Maybe they'll write a book someday, and we'll understand what the hell is going on.
That's why I want J.J. Abrams and Ryan Johnson to have a sit-down conversation with each other.
No, it shouldn't even be them. It shouldn't be them. It should be someone in that story room. It's like... Behind the stars, the story of the true story of the story group. I don't know. I
would totally watch it.
Yeah.
I like what they've done, and the thing is, I'm going to. We can wrap this up if you want. But what I'm saying is, look, we're talking about, and this is important. We're talking about the disconnect between two films.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. There is a disconnect. We can all agree on that.
Yeah.
But you know what? There's also a disconnect in the prequels. And there's a disconnect between the prequels and the original trilogy. And there's probably disconnects in the original trilogy. There are disconnects everywhere. Star Wars isn't perfect. Yeah. Sometimes you have disconnects and sometimes you have to let it slide. I mean, Disney they bought them and they're like, well, here are the disconnects. Comics, Marvel comic, you come and you're going to flesh out those disconnects and then make them not be disconnected anymore. And yeah, the average person isn't going to watch them, but Brock's going to read it and be like, look at this, they explain that. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, disconnects happen as stories. Anything else you want to add to that before we move on?
I just think it's funny because I feel like we've talked about the Knights of Ren way before Last Jedi came out, because we both thought it was like, oh, what's that? Let's find out.
We actually say in one episode, I can't remember which one it was, where we're like, what if they're not even in the movie and they're just ignored?
Yeah.
But it makes sense to ignore them in the movie.
Now it's like, I feel so like depressed because I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. And before the movie, I was like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I was like so much chipper. I was like, no, I've not lost faith in Star Wars, but it is draining to like have to like defend these movies and stuff like that.
Oh my God, I'm so tired.
Like, I was talking to one of my colleagues 2 days ago about it. He's like, I tried, man. I just didn't like it. I'm like, that's fair. But he's just like, but the one thing I did take away from his conversation, he's like, I'm worried about episode 9. See, that's the thing. Like, people love Star Wars. Like, my colleague's like, I'm afraid. Like, there's people that are just mad about this movie. He wasn't like, I didn't like it, and I'm worried about episode 9 because I love these movies. So like,
yeah, see, this is the thing, though. I think we talked about this on Parsecs, which went up earlier today, is Solo. I think someone like that, Solo's job is to get them on track. It might not win them over completely, but they'll be like, oh, that was fun. But then the trailer for episode, it's J.J. Abrams. Like, what did J.J. So, like, I was having a conversation with somebody on the thing earlier. It was on the Kathleen Kennedy thing, and my point was just like, you know, everybody can rag on everything, but Kathleen Kennedy, J.J. Abrams, Lucasfilm, Bob Iger, Disney, I don't care who it was, they took Star Wars, which is huge, which was going to make a lot of money, but turned it into a $2 billion profit on the first film. Like, they brought it back to $2 billion.
Yeah.
Tell me what other Star Wars movie did that.
Yeah.
Tell me which prequel did that. It doesn't matter if you like The Force Awakens or not. I don't like it as much as most of the prequels. That's the truth. And look, it doesn't matter. I like them all. I'm going to watch them. Yeah. But like, it made I saw it 4 times in the theater. And somebody asked me like, what's the most you've ever seen in the theater? I've seen movies. The most I ever saw a movie in the theater was 6 times. Every time for free. 4 times is the most I've ever paid to see a movie in the theater. Yeah. I saw it 4 times in the theater, which I know is nothing compared to a lot of you. But for me, that's a lot because Aaron likes to see it in the really expensive theaters. But like, I saw it 4 times. They did something with Star Wars, like with movies in general, that was so big that the next movie made $1 billion because of that movie. Yeah. And then The Last Jedi made $1 billion because of that movie still. Like, this is still because of The Force Awakens. Yeah, yeah. So, if you're worried about episode 9, you could just say, remember how... It doesn't matter how you feel about it. Doesn't matter how you feel about it now. I know 2 years later, a lot of people are not liking it as much. But remember when you first left the theater from watching The Force Awakens. That is coming to us again in 2 years.
Yep. Amazing. Move on.
We got our road to 100. Road to 100. So everyone knows we're going to do
100 road.
Our 100th episode is coming up in, I think it's June.
Ooh, I hope it's on our birthdays.
It's 22 weeks from now.
22.
Which is like half a year.
Wow.
But it's 22 weeks from now, so we've asked all of our Patreon subscribers to give us their list of their top 5 favorite Star Wars characters. So we ended up, all of us combined, we have 50 characters, and we're going through 50 characters each week. At the halfway point, we'll do a recap. So we're not going to recap today, but they've been pretty fun. I've liked what we've gotten. Today's are 2 of my faves.
Han Solo and Finn.
Han and Finn. Look, you think I'm excited for the Han Solo movie? I am. I'm a huge Han Solo fan. I know not a lot of people like him anymore for whatever reason. He's not a Jedi. He's not interesting. This is the kind of character I've always been drawn to. Indiana Jones.
Sith. Why did it have to be Sith? Han Solo is great. I would like to one day have a costume like Han Solo. Ooh. One day. Finn is also great.
Love Finn.
He's a janitor that made good.
And I have the diecast of him with the lightsaber. I don't want him to be a Jedi, and I don't want to argue people who think he will be one, because that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't want him personally to be one, because same reason I don't want Han Solo to be one. I like them. They are both the same character, but I really...
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's funny how these two got put together.
That was on purpose. No, because these are two of my favorites. Finn is my favorite hero from the new saga. I love Kylo Ren, obviously. And then Han Solo is my favorite. Like, they're great. And Finn's character, his personality is ecstatic, and John Boyega is a great ambassador for Star Wars, which really, really needs great ambassadors right now.
Yeah. Never tell me the odds.
Moving at a snail's pace,
James,
today's odds.
I did not read these on the rundown, so this is all going to be...
Oh, good, because I think I changed one of them anyway. Okay, Sweet. Never tell me the odds. The first odd, the odds of Chewie eating an Ewok in Solo.
Why would you do this? Why did you do this?
Can you imagine just like a giant porg thing? Like
first things first, they're bigger.
Yeah, but it's like
there's lots.
It's like a cape on to a porg.
They have weapons and hands, and they can run fast. Well, not faster, but they could get up a tree.
I'm sure you could.
I guess the porgs could fly away, but I don't know.
You could eat an Ewok.
They have their own language. The porgs just go.
So our top 5 is top 5 characters that don't talk.
Yeah.
There might be an Ewok on mine. That doesn't count as talking, does it?
I was going to ask you that question, but my odd for this one is 0% because you are dead inside.
100% 0. No, 0%. Not 100%. Like, I am.
He is not going to eat an Ewok.
He's not going to eat an Ewok. He won't even see an Ewok.
He's going to treat an Ewok to a dinner he made with a wok.
The odds of Force Ghost Luke fighting Force Ghost Snoke.
Jeez.
I see people writing this. Apparently, people want this to happen.
I would like there to be an evil Force Ghost. That would be fun. But I think the second you have them fight each other, it's like that's the movie, not what's happening here. Or it doesn't. I'm not saying that's more important, but like then you have to spend that time explaining why they would want to fight because they are one with the Force. So like, why would they care about things like that? And it would be like, I don't know. To me, it just sounds like Charles Xavier fighting Apocalypse in X-Men Apocalypse, which is in like the temporal zone or whatever.
I saw that movie.
So 5%.
25%. Fulbrock? I don't know. You know what? Let me see a trailer. Let me see the leaked footage of that.
That being said, like I said, like an evil Force Ghost would be fun.
Oh, totally. But I know people want to see them fight. I don't see. I would be at the very end of the movie, I guess. I don't know. I almost am like at the point where I don't want Luke to be in 9. Can I say that out loud? I did. Here's the thing. Everyone is like, they ruined Luke, or no, they didn't, and I'm tired.
Did they?
Stop. I'm tired. I'm tired. They did what they did with Luke. If there's a purpose for him in 9, cool. I honestly, he had a great run. Can I say that?
Yeah.
He had a great run, guys. Oh, man. I'm totally up for it. I'm going to go full Brock. Frig it.
50-50.
And the odds of Kylo Ren bringing peace to the galaxy.
Whoa. How do you define peace?
I think legit, because here's the thing. He is the offspring of Anakin Skywalker, who wanted to bring peace to the galaxy. The prequels are all based around that. Remember, I've said forever that Anakin is really the basis of this whole saga.
Yeah.
And now this last movie kind of showed maybe he's not, but maybe he is, and maybe the point is that the Skywalker bloodline is what is going to save the galaxy. And that's why Rian Johnson's trilogy is totally separate from everything, because this story, this time, is done. We don't have to go back to... We can go back in spin-offs, but it ends with Kylo Ren like bringing peace and justice to the galaxy.
Okay.
0%. No, I'll go 80. I'm going to go 85.
Ooh. What did I say?
You didn't.
60%, because it's kind of fun, but I don't know.
It's a shocker. And the thing is, I still wouldn't say that he would be redeemed.
True.
Like he would still be like.
So his action of hatred.
Yeah, like something would cause that to happen. Brock.
Hollow news. Here we go. It's the Hollow news.
The first story excites me like you wouldn't believe.
It excites him. Oh yeah, that's right. So, currently the UK Toy Fair is going on in London. Star Wars fan site Fantha Tracks reports that some Han Solo merchandise has appeared in the Rebel booth in the form of an advent calendar. A popular item in Europe. I mean, we know advent calendars here, but I feel like they're a whole new level in Europe because I've seen a few. We usually get chocolates. There's toys and stuff in European advent calendars. The calendar will provide pieces each day to build some type of larger item, like a character or a vehicle. The Falcon, perhaps? This is based on the fact that they did Lightning McQueen from Cars, and you got it piece by piece, and he was probably, I don't know, a foot long or something like that. I just saw it in pictures. But yeah, it was the only Han Solo merchandise to be shown at the Toy Fair. And it comes in a box that is completely black and just says Han Solo. So I believe you can get that in September.
I love it.
But if you want to check it out, go to Fantha Tracks Instagram feed. That's at Fantha Tracks, like Bantha Tracks, but Fantha Tracks. You can see the picture right there. But check it out. It looks cool. And see what the Toy Fair's like. Rian Johnson schools us all. So love it or hate it, The Last Jedi left fans with a lot of questions and critiques. One such topic is the new state of the Force. With Leia surviving the vacuum of space and Snoke's force-escaping, the fans are demanding answers on whether there should be rules on what the Force does. But have no fear, Rian Johnson took to his Twitter feed to explain one of the most mystifying Force tricks in The Last Jedi, namely Luke's battle with Kylo Ren on Crate. Johnson revealed through a series of tweets that Luke's ability to send his likeness to Crate while still on Ahch-To is known as the Simul Futuris. I hope I'm mispronouncing that right. And here is the excerpt from the book The Jedi Path, a manual for students of the Force by Daniel Wallace, which was put out in 2010. Doppelganger, or Simul Futuris, permits a Jedi to create a short-lived duplicate of himself or herself or an external object that is visually indistinguishable from the real item. Those who have perfected this ability can create phantoms of any person of their choosing or trick an enemy into seeing more objects, such as droids, that are actually present. So he took that straight from the book, and I've seen this book in Chapters or Barnes and Noble, and there's this and there's a Sith book. This was made before Disney, so people were saying he just thought that. I was like, oh, he took to Twitter, and it's a fun little series of pictures where he just goes zooms in, zoom, and he shows it right there. So we posted that on, there's a fun little Twitter story on our Facebook, so check it out if you want to read it. It is actually quite enjoyable. And next up, so on the heels of the 4 Oscar nominations for The Last Jedi, which was mostly, special effects and sound and what have you, they have also been nominated for 9 Empire Awards, which includes Best Film, Best Sci-Fi Fantasy, Best Actress, Best Actor, and Best Director. Empire Awards are put on by the UK film magazine Empire, and the award show will be in March 18. I assume, it didn't really say, I would assume on some type of British or UK, well, that's the same thing, British channel, so yeah, check it out. And Rebels finale has been announced that March 5th will see the end of the show with a 90-minute finale. Let's hope for an epic and satisfying conclusion as we bid adieu to our favorite Rebels characters. The series will return for its mid-season premiere on February 19 on Disney XD.
And after it's done, we're going to do a Rebels roundtable.
Ooh la!
So that'll be on the whole.
Nice. I am excited. And for a story that's going to hurt my head from math, Redditor, the Neptunian sloth, has figured out how to rate the divisiveness in fans for each Star Wars movie. Or in other words, how to rate the division and how people like each movie. He used IMDb stats on just how people enjoyed it to back his rating. So I can't explain it any way else besides reading what he wrote, so here I go. What I did was I calculated the standard deviation from each film's set of ratings, which is a way of measuring how much the numbers on average deviate from the arithmetic mean of the set. A typical standard deviation will generally be between 1 and 3. So the higher the standard deviation, the more divisive the film is. Remember that the divisiveness of a film doesn't necessarily indicate anything about the film's quality itself. It just measures how much people seem to agree about said quality. If, for instance, episode 9 comes out and almost everybody hates it, it still wouldn't be a divisive film since everyone agrees on how bad it is. You can interpret the results like this. If it's below 1.5, there's a high agreement. Above 2.5, low agreement. So his results were Last Jedi at number 1 as the most divisive movie in the Star Wars franchise at 2.696. The Phantom Menace at 2.062. Attack of the Clones at 1.914. Revenge of the Sith at 1.837. Return of the Jedi at 1.695. The Force Awakens at 1.612. A New Hope at 1.602. The Empire Strikes Back at 1.517. And Rogue One as the least divisive movie in between Star Wars fans at 1.405. So, although The Last Jedi doesn't have quite as many ratings as for the originals, we now have a mathematical proof that The Last Jedi is in fact the most divided film between fans in the Star Wars franchise. It's kind of interesting, though, that Rogue One scores number 1, and that Force Awakens beats out Return of the Jedi and is like almost in the top of the least divisive. So you can't say that George Lucas made a perfect movie because most of the ones we divide on are, the prequels. So, and in our final story, and the sad news, Alison Shermer, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, who produced the Hunger Games franchise, Rogue One, and the upcoming Solo: A Star Wars Story, has died at age 54. She passed away on Friday at UCLA Medical Center in Los Angeles after battling lung cancer. She held the position of president of production at Lionsgate, where she oversaw projects like the aforementioned Hunger Games, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, Nerve, Cinderella, Rogue One: A Star Wars Story, and last year's Power Rangers. So that is it for Hello News. The news you need on a needful basis. I'm still working on that.
Good job. Let's go over to
books and comics.
Books and comics. What do you got today?
No.
You got another? I'll show this one here quickly.
Ooh.
This is a magazine. It is a Last Jedi magazine. I don't really know much about it. It's really great though. Look at that. It's Vanity Fair, GQ, The New Yorker, Wired. It's from the editors of that. So it has it's an aggregator of like all the articles and stuff. It's got some cool stuff in it though. So you can read. I did my high ground that I did with the Han Solo movie. The quote I got from Kazin's in here. It's not originally from this magazine, obviously, that quote, but they put it in here. It's got a forward by Rian Johnson, so everybody that hates Rian Johnson right now, you can
look at that.
Read
Beautiful.
How much Star Wars actually means to him. Yeah, it's actually it's great. It goes through. It's just fantastic. Look at that picture right there of your boy Poe. Look at that. Look at that Poe. He's not going to show up on our list of 50, but this is a really great one to check out. I don't know if you can get. I don't even know. I got this for Christmas. And I have no idea. I've never seen this before in my life. It's on display until February 5th, so
Sweet.
Get that if you can, because this was really cool. And BB9E. And
I love that
BB-8.
they do this. I feel like that was a bigger thing back in the day, because magazines were a lot more popular, so they put out these special editions. I think that's smart, because people don't want to subscribe to the magazines, the physical copies. They'll get it online, so it's to get something special like this that you might not be able to get. That is awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna have another one next week. Spoiler alert.
Oh.
Anyway, let's move over to what you're not prepared for.
Oh, Aren't I? What? I have a list here.
Oh, wow.
So,
does Chewie count?
Top 5 non-speaking characters is today's brought to us by
Nicholas Costello.
Oh, thank
Patreon.
You, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we should have we should have talked to, like, did it mean they didn't have lines or they couldn't speak? Because I thought that too.
Look, you just go with your number 5.
I have a list, and I was almost going to just completely ruin this list by just naming bounty hunters. Boss. Dengar.
No.
Dada. But I didn't. I tried to take characters from all different parts of the movies. Like, I guess there's a good, like, prequels, original, and some new stuff.
How many times do you have Yaddle on your list?
Never. Ba, 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 ba. All right, my number 5 is Tarples. Is he Chewbacca's father there? I don't know. So I guess that kind of counts as Chewbacca. But he's fun. He has dreads for some reason. I don't know. He doesn't say a lot. He might go, but like, I think when he makes noise, if he does, or any scenes he's with Chewbacca, so like they're talking to Chewbacca. But I liked it. Boom.
Before I say mine, can we give a shout out to Jason?
Jason Brothers got us Captain Cody
care package. It was more than just this, but this one.
Yeah,
was like,
that's the pièce de
resistance.
You can see we have salt and pepper shaker, Han Solo, and this guy Greedo. I was like, what is his name? And behind James's head is a Resistance BB droid.
It's pretty cool. It was awesome. Thank you so much, Jason.
Yep.
For saying that all the way to the Great White North.
Ooh la la! I keep saying that.
I'm trying to like not say my number 5 because I don't have a 5th one. I can't think of it. Porgs. I went with Porgs. And you know what? I like what I like. I don't care.
Yeah. This list means nothing.
It means
except
a lot
for fun. That's what it means. Fun.
For fun. Who's your number 4?
My number 4 is Porg. No, my number 4 is Aurra Sing.
Nice.
So instead of doing bounty hunters, bang, 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 I choose another bounty hunter. Now I know. I also when I thought of this, is like, well, does like Star Wars shows count? But I said no, movies. So and it's kind of fun. Like, those background characters become bigger things and other stuff, which I think is kind of the point of this list. I mean, they all get names and then we hear about it later. Anyways. You're number 4.
I got like a side split here because both of their last names are Guard. I've got Praetorian Guard and Gamorrean Guard.
Think of that.
I'm gonna go.
Good. Gamorrean Guard. Sorry, I love Praetorians, but Gamorrean Guard.
Right, but they're both last name Guard, so I'm gonna take them as a whole, and that's my number 4. I'll give $100 if anyone. No, I won't. I don't have $100. Guess my number 3. Can I go number 3?
Yeah.
Ben Quaterneros.
Oh, surprise, surprise. I almost put it on mine too, but I was like, why? He's going to put it.
Okay.
My number 3 is Moma Nadan, more famously known as Hammerhead, the Authorian. He was one of my favorite figures in the 90s when they re-released his, or late 90s.
I have the 70s one.
And he had this massive gun that made no sense because he doesn't have a gun, but like his hands are this big, so he has to have a weird gun. Yep.
You got to have a weird gun.
Yep.
So my number, we're on 2.
Yep.
Yeah. See, I don't have Kit Fisto on my list. I wish I did.
Yeah.
But I got number 2, my boy, Wicket. Wicket is Snoke. Wicket lives on. He kind of talks.
Yeah, that was where the rule.
All right, then Kit Fisto. It's either Wicket or Kit Fisto. It doesn't matter.
But like, I don't know. Yeah, we can do whatever. My number 2 is Porgs. Boom.
Porgs talk.
Yeah. I don't know. You just put Ewoks.
Imagine they had subtitles.
You already had Porgs in your list.
I know. Porgs are awesome. You want to do number 1 at the same time? We don't have the same number 1.
No way we have number 1.
My number 1 is the best character in all of Star Wars. R2-D2.
Oh, that's a good one.
Best character in Star Wars.
But that's not how the rules go. You lose. There are no points in this game. It's not even a game. It's a list. Number 1. You know it. You know I put it.
Ben Quaterneros.
They're Trandoshan with emotion. Bosk. Boom. Boom. Because I'm going to put bounty hunters on this list of the original OG bounty hunters. But I can only choose one because I don't want to ruin the game. Because it's a game now. I decided this is a game. Bosk. Boom. Fave.
That was a lot of fun. That's our top 5 characters that don't say English.
Don't say
That they don't speak.
Basic.
I don't know if we could count it, but I went with Kit Fisto instead if he does. I know we didn't have BB-8 on it. I guess BB-8 kind of...
There are no rules. There are no rules. We make up the rules.
Top 5s. If you guys have a top 5, let us know. Because that
Yeah.
is so much fun to do top 5s every single week. Next week's top 5. Top 5 Jabba quotes.
Top 5 Poe moments. When you're like, oh, I wish my hair could be that. No, not moments that you experience because of Poe.
Just Poe money, Poe moments.
Yeah.
Poe. All right, that wraps up the 78th episode of the Rebel Scum Podcast. Maybe next time we do this, we will have seen a solo trailer. Maybe not. We don't know. We're going to end it a little bit differently, though, because there was the passing in Star Wars land. And so just out of respect, goodbye. Have a good night, everybody.